The year is 2016. One day, I get home and I decide I want to watch some YouTube, only to discover that one of my favorite YouTubers at the time, TheCampingRusher, has uploaded a new video. In this video, he claims to have found the oldest still active Minecraft server, one that he is about to change the future of forever. This server is none other than 2B2T. And today I'm building one of its most famous monuments in my beta world, the Valley of Wheat, or at least part of it. One of these pyramid sections to be specific. But instead of sand and netherrack that the real one was made from, I'd like to use sandstone and red wool. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to update from beta 1.1 to beta 1.2, giving me access to sandstone and colored wool. Gray. I'll also need a suitable place to build this Valley of Wheat, and I think I know exactly where it should go. And here we are, the location for this Valley of Wheat. Now I need to establish the outer limits of this base. It's an 87 by 87 block structure, or at least the version I'm going to build is. So let's try to figure out what a good placement would be. Gonna run all the way over there. I can't really build all of this without a little bit more sand, so I'm gonna have to make a trip to the desert base. Ooh, more roses. And 3 hours of digging and crafting later, I have a chest of sandstone. I'm going to head back and start laying out the actual structure. Time to head out. Now it's time to build the bases for each of the columns. There are 15 columns on each side, meaning that there's going to be a 4-block gap between each column. And the middle column, I'm going to make one larger. The first side went together quickly, and after making sure that I built them correctly, which I did, I built the second side. And then lit up some more of the inner area. Great. Fortunately, I can hit you through the door. The third and fourth sides went up very quickly. giving me a view of the true scale of this build. This place is a lot bigger than I thought it was. I guess the project continues. I then started laying out the paths to the center so I could figure out where the pyramid would go. I would finish the paths and locate the center of the build, and then start placing the base of the pyramid. That's gonna be a big pyramid. I then moved my items to within the pyramid base and placed some fences between the columns. That's why I'm putting up fences. Oh man. The next morning it was time for a trip. I journeyed to the desert base to collect the items that I had left there. Then headed straight for the main base, staying the night at one of the houses from the last episode. Finally back at the main base, I sort out my inventory and collect the first of the items that I came here for, netherrack. The second is red wool. I'm going to need a lot of red wool for this project, and I've got 46 roses here. Now I could take the red dye and directly dye the wool, but it's a 1-for-1, whereas I could also take the red dye and find a sheep, dye it red, and then punch it and potentially get more than one red wool per dye. So I'm going to be punching a lot of sheep and killing them afterwards. And after going on a murderous red sheep killing rampage... Oh no, I gotta get out of here. As well as blowing up and temporarily fixing my mob farm, I collected some wood, replanted it, then departed for the build site. I must take this opportunity. Let's stay in this house tonight. What a lovely chair. This place is gonna turn out sweet. You can already see it from way over here. I then lit up the majority of the remaining unlit area. With that done, it was finally time to start building the columns. I did this while conversing with one of my fans, Beastmaster6027. The columns went up much faster than I anticipated, and before I knew it, one of the 4 sides was already done, and I was out of sandstone. I then placed some more fences before making my way back to the desert base for iron and another chest of sandstone. Over the next few days, the player count on 2B2T drastically grew to the point that the server simply could not handle the influx of new players. Before the video, it was approximately 1 to 10 players, and after it was upwards of 2,500 or more. Meanwhile, the veterans of the server grow increasingly angry with the sudden explosion in popularity that the server has undergone. It's now June 4th, 3 days have elapsed since Rusher uploaded that first video. He declares war on the veterans, as well as establishes the first major faction in this war, Team Rusher. On the 13th of June, a player named Fit uploads a video of him and 2 other veterans griefing a large sanctuary of Rushers and killing most of them. 3 days later, the veterans form a team, choosing Fit as their leader. Their first initiative, the Lava Cast, is to block all new players within the 500 by 500 area around the spawn by building a wall of lava. This failed due to players finding holes in this lava wall and later griefing it. On June 22nd, Team Veteran would discover the location of Rusher's first base, Paradise. They destroyed the base and then lava casted it. The veterans would make a second attempt to contain the new players, this time with water. Operation Poseidon was an attempt to entirely flood the spawn area and drown all new players. It failed due to various players with Frostwalker boots freezing the water, as well as a large section of the spawn area being in a tundra biome, which had the same effect. During July, another major change happened to 2B2T, the introduction of the player queue. This would limit the number of players on the server to a little less than 300. July 2nd, Rusher visits a base owned by Team Veteran, the Crystal Islands. The veterans would eventually abandon the base, and it was later griefed. The original owner of the base, Offtopia, would blame Fit and accuse him of intentionally leaking the location to Rusher, bringing Fit's loyalty into question. On the 16th of July, the Valley of Wheat was griefed. Team Rusher was initially blamed for the destruction, but it was actually a group called the Resistance alongside a few members of Team Rusher. Team Veteran would make one last attempt to contain the new players within the spawn area. This time in both the Nether and Overworld, they would bomb the terrain with redstone flying machines, though this would fail due to various players using beds and crystals to bomb the flying machines. Sandstone. With another chest of sandstone, I head back to the build site. I am out of red dye, and 54 red wool will not suffice for the rest of this project, so I'm gonna go find some more red flowers. Gonna head off that way, towards that cool hill. Oh wow. Spruce trees. Fun. Those will be useful next episode. After finding a few flowers, I head west to find more. There be caves down there. Might as well craft these into red dye. And with enough red dye and wool for now. You're not a cow. I head back to the build site. I then placed a lot more fences and collected some more red wool. Before building some more columns. About 17 in total. Man, this place looks cool. I would then build a few more columns, run out of wool, collect some more, and repeat that process a few times, till the power went out. Under normal circumstances, this would immediately corrupt the world meaning all the progress since the last world backup would be lost. But I thought ahead and have an uninterruptible power supply, aka a battery backup, meaning I could safely exit my world and shut down my computer. Thanks for buying that past me. It came in really handy. One power outage later, I continued building columns and collecting wool till... Why? Target acquired. I would then finish the last few columns. And with this last block, I'm pretty sure all of the columns are done. I take that back. Found one that wasn't built. This one should be the last one. Now for the pyramid. Hello there. I continued till I discovered I did a section wrong. Oh great. Once that was fixed, I realized it was time to go find more roses. This time I headed east. What wonderful wood. And lag spikes. I then found my way back to familiar terrain. Ah, familiar terrain. What a beautiful sight. Dropped off the roses, then headed back to the desert base for more sandstone. One more round of sand collecting. This is the last time, I swear, I hope. Man, this desert's looking kinda rough. With more sandstone I crafted, I head back to the build site to finish the pyramid. I started by building the small columns that surround the base of the pyramid, placing the netherrack at the top and working my way down with the wool and sandstone. Really? Again? Why is it always this spot? Ooh. Oh goodness. Third creeper. Goodbye, pig. Here, have a light. Eventually, I would collect enough wool to finish the small columns. Then I would try to seal up the entrances a little better, leading me to this. Okay, that's it. A rage quit. Ah, sunrise. I can finally fix the damage caused by that creeper. And finally, it's time to build the pyramid. Layer by layer, I would slowly add to this centerpiece, placing torches to stop mobs from spawning on it. "30 minutes of placing sandstone later, it was complete. All that is left to build are 8 large columns from the base of the pyramid and 1 to the north of the pyramid. Just what I was looking for. Bored of placing sandstone, I start building the nether portals that top the pyramid, slowly carrying lava buckets to the top of the pyramid. I start placing the portal frames, with a few mistakes, of course. Oh great, there go all my torches. And I placed one too many obsidian. Great. There. Now they're all off center. So you know how I said we wouldn't need any more sandstone? That was a lie. We need more. Great. The fourth incursion would begin on the 24th of July. Fit would announce this takeover of Spawn as an attempt to kill as many rushers as possible. This would include Team Veteran griefing many of their enemies' bases. 1 week later, on the 31st of July, Team Veteran would be forced to destroy another one of their own bases, Arius City. The player, Snacky North, was manipulated by his online girlfriend, Cancer Chan, into giving some relatively close coordinates to Arius City. The only problem is Cancer Chan was actually a guy pretending to be a girl to try and get info to leak. Once he confirmed the data, he would leak it to 2 players that would make the info public. Team Veteran would preemptively grief their own base as a result. On the 5th of August, one of the most important events of this war would occur. Fit and Rusher would meet up for a duel at the Dark Souls castle.
Hello there, Fitz. Don't be surprised. I don't back down from a challenge.
Yeah, it's bittersweet, if you will, because I've been searching for you for so long, and now, finally, face to face. I've been waiting 2 months for this.
Woo! There we go, baby. Fit, you have basically called me out, challenged me, and given me a spot for us to 1v1. And by the way, my buddy Napkin here is not gonna interrupt. He just wanted to see it as well. You want to shake hands, Fit, before we do this? Turn your kill aura off, buddy. Shake my hand.
All right. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'll do it.
I know, Fit. I know. It's good, though. I mean, just sportsmanship, and then, Fit, I wish you the best of luck. I'm taking you down, buddy. Okay, he's hitting me pretty hard right now. He's hitting me pretty hard. I just gappled up. So what I'm doing is I'm going to try and break his gear. He's definitely got the delay hits on, but because we have unlimited gapples, ooh, I didn't even have my bunny hop off on, dude. Bad start. Bad start, so dude. Because I have a little bit of chest.
Oh my god, you got 1 gap left? This is chest.
I only have 1 gap. This is about to be it, dude.
You might be able to do it. His chest.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
You're like me.
I'm gonna die! I had him!
Oh my god.
Oh my, I ran out of gaps. I should have come with more gaps.
2 weeks later, an admin of the Q server would have a player, Tarogadude, a member of Team Veteran, stripped of his veteran Q status. At the time, the Q system had a few different categories. The basic queue for the majority of 2b2t players, the veteran queue for all of the players who first logged in to the server before June 1st, 2016, and the priority queue, which cost $20 a month and got you priority access to 2b2t. The biggest problem with this system at the time was the fact that the Q server was run on a computer controlled by Rusher, giving him the ability to control who was in what type of queue. This was obviously an issue, letting one side of this war control who can play on the server, and after much public backlash, Tarogadude was given his veteran status back. Nearly 1 month later, on September 16th, the Battle of Spawn would occur. Originally, the battle was between Team Veteran versus Team Rusher, but it would soon devolve into a free-for-all. This battle supposedly included 30 veterans and 3 rushers. The Camping Rusher would escape this battle, leading Fit to declare victory. A few days later, on the 19th, Rusher would leave the server and would not log back in for about a month. Another 3 days later, on the 22nd, the Valley of Wheat would be completely destroyed. After a few weeks of inactivity from Rusher, on October 9th, Fit would declare the Rusher War over and disband Team Veteran. 6 days later, Rusher would return, but there wouldn't be any more conflict between the two sides of the war. Oh, by the way, this is episode 8, War and Peace. With the last of the sandstone collected, I head back to finish the build. And after building 1 column, I was out of netherrack. 6 will not suffice. Just what I wanted, a nice closed-in area. That'll do. With everything I need to finish this build, I need more red wool, but I'm all out of red flowers, so I guess it's time to go find some more. Wandering into the unknown one last time to punch roses and sheep, I collect the last of what I need to finish the final, and I'm out of red dye again. So I go and gather more for the last time, for real this time. Well, I'll need more than that. That one can stay. It's lonely anyways. I wish I could find more than 1 rose per flower patch. Oh hey, there's 2. That'll work. Make that 3. There, that's the last of the wool that I need. You get to live. See you later. And with the final column constructed, I can finally get to the real challenge of this build. The nearly 6,000 wheat I have to plant. It starts with watering the future farmland, a task that takes a while if you want to space out the water appropriately. Next is the grass elimination process. It needs to be removed in order to prevent the passive mobs from spawning and trampling the crops. The easiest way of doing this is by hoeing it. This also has the distinct advantage of collecting some of the seeds that I'll need and preparing the dirt for them to be planted on. Now to do that for the other 3 quadrants. Water time. I would have to do the same for the second quadrant. I would remove the grass in the second quadrant eventually. I then move back to the first quadrant for the first harvest and replant. Now for the hard part. Hills. And once the flat areas at the top of the hill are watered, I start to work my way down the hill. Where did that creeper come from? Okay, that frustrates me. After that, I changed my strategy, starting at the bottom of the hill and working my way up it using white wool to mark my progress. I think I have all of the water placed for this quadrant. You know what comes next. Man, these animals really wrecked my work. With the other 3 quadrants sorted for now, I move on to the 4th, starting with watering the flat areas, then slowly working my way up the hill using wool again to mark what layer has been watered. Oh hey, I've already done this part, but I guess I am done. Cool. And with the watering done, the hoeing commenced. Goodbye, grass. You will not be missed. Time to plant seeds. Now all that's left is a lot of planting, harvesting, and replanting. I then had the idea to go and harvest the other wheat fields around the world. I started with the fields from the town I built last episode. There, all harvested, and then I journeyed back to the main base to harvest its fields. Time to harvest the moodlit wheat farm. And after I make the trek back to the Valley of Wheat, the nearly 19 stacks of seeds would help the planting process along immensely. 1 quarter planted, 3 to finish. The second would come a bit quicker since I could collect seeds so much faster. And that's the second quarter planted. Now let's try to finish a third. And the same for the third, with exception for the harder to reach areas. This quadrant's done. And with one last round of harvesting and replanting the last seeds needed to complete the final quadrant, just a small little teeny tiny patch left. Today is the day. That poor tree. I feel so bad for it, and I feel worse for my fields. Just a few blocks left. Finally. I'm done planting wheat. Well, now that that quadrant is done, there's only one thing left to do. And for that I need ladders and flint and steel. It's lighting all the fires. Oh, it's gonna happen. Yep. first time I've died in since October. Great. Hello, tree. And it was right before day. Great. Goodbye, trees. This is why I don't like fire. All that's left are a few of the tricky ones. So let's go light them on fire. There. All done. One last thing. I need to light the other 3 portals. There. It's done. Complete. My own little valley of wheat. And with that, the war was over. The veterans had won, killing almost 10,500 new players. Though only slowing the influx of new players for the time being, this war would be a major turning point for 2B2T, one that is widely believed to have saved the server. Some believe the whole thing was a scripted affair, some think the war was entirely organic, and others think it may be somewhere in between. It took the server from near collapse and transformed it into the legendary server that it is today, and I'm happy to have watched this unfold in real time back in 2016. This valley of wheat I've built is a monument to the entertainment and enjoyment those videos gave me. A monument to nostalgia, one not meant to pine for a long past memory, but one meant to show my appreciation for those memories. Because without them, some part of what makes me the me that I am today wouldn't exist. All of our past experiences are what make us who we are, and the nostalgia that we feel is a way of showing appreciation for what formed us into the people we are. I hope you have something in your life like that, even if it is something as silly as a potentially made-up conflict in a block game for kids.